Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we are back on with the old Sega Master System repair. Now I managed to extract all three of the AKS RAMs. Like I said, I took the two video RAMs off and I took the work RAM off as well, because if I can't find an exact replacement for this, I would much rather, if it's possible, use two identical for the video RAM and have the odd one as the work RAM. I'd rather, it just makes more sense to try and keep the two video RAMs, if possible, as exactly the same as the same part. So I'll pull the work RAM off. What I've done up to now is I've put some sockets in place to replace the two video RAMs, as you can see down there. Now what I have found, which is quite interesting, is when I pull the work RAM off, the board, let me just see if I can zoom you in so you can see this. Oops, wrong way. I'll take you up a little bit. This is where the work RAMs come off, and if you can see, it's actually set up for either the larger, wider IC SRAMs or the thinner ones. Now I think I've actually got, I've been trying to find some SRAM to find a replacement for, and I was absolutely certain that I had an 8K SRAM in this style kicking about somewhere, but up to now I can't find it. What I did find though was, is it up here? It was something I was playing with the old ZX81, and I think that's an 8K SRAM, but it's in the other. Let's see if I can get that to focus. That one there. Like I say, I think that's an 8K SRAM. I will check online, make sure it is. But obviously that's in the narrower form factor. So what I thought I would do is, instead of just putting a standard socket in here, I'll get you down there so you can see what I'm pointing. Instead of just putting standard sockets in like that, what I thought I would do for the SRAMs there is use 3 lengths of this strip here, the pin header, and then it doesn't matter, I can either use the large ICs or I can use the narrow ones as well. So I thought that's what we'd do now, is we'll cut some of this to size, because I've already done the ones over there with standard sockets, and then I didn't actually have exactly the right size, so I had to take some that were slightly smaller and then cut one up and just extend it using the third one. Which, I mean, it's not the best thing to do, but it looks quite neat, and it means that they do fit properly now. Like I said, on this one, I think I'll use this pin header, and then it gives us the option of using the 2 different types of SRAM. So that's one, that'll do for there. I do need to order some more of this, I'm running out. Fits in there like that. Oh, look at that, that piece is perfect size. Right, now we need to hold them in there while we just solder it, so it's a bit tricky to do. And I just hold them with my finger like that and flip it over. We just want to solder like 1 pin in the middle, just to hold them in place while we get the rest of them. So let's just go in and just hold. I think we've got that one. Yeah, we've got that one. So you literally just want to get one pin on each strip just soldered, and that'll hold it so you can solder the other ones properly. There we go. And let's have a look from the other side, make sure that they're straight. That's over ever so slightly. We can just straighten them up, make sure that they're nice and straight. Because we've only soldered 1 pin, you can just slightly tweak them over. So there we go, that'll work. If we go back over here, zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And we are soldering here. Let's just bring you down a touch. So we're just going to solder these now. We'll solder these into position proper now. Where's my thinner solder gone? Ah, there's my thinner solder. I have a couple of different grades of solder, you see. I have one I tend to use on like valve stuff and heavier circuits, which is obviously a thicker gauge. And I have this nice thin gauge for working on old computers and this type of stuff. And you can use the thinner one on valve stuff, but you like end up wasting a load of it because you use so much. Similarly, you can use the thicker stuff on this, but if you're not careful, you put too much on the joint and it looks a mess. This stuff's just right. That's the one we did before, that's okay. Let's turn that round because there's another row of pins here and it makes it rather difficult to get in. But we can get in this way. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you can see that alright, but that's, oops. There we go, you can see that's the new soldering there. So we'll give that a quick clean up just to make it look nice. See if I can get you a bit higher. Bring you down onto it so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so we'll just give that a really quick clean over. In fact, what we'll do is give that a quick clean over with some PCB cleaner, get all the muck and rubbish off it where we've just worked. There we go. So that's ready now for us to take. That's now ready for us to install our new, well, our tested ICs once we've tested them. So I will go and get the old Speedmaster 1000 set up. I'll bring it up here with the laptop and we can test them SRAMs and we'll test whatever I can find as a spare SRAM and we'll take it from there. So join me back very, very shortly. Okay, I'm back and I've got the old Speedmaster 1000 set up. Unfortunately, it's not going to do much good for us. What I've discovered is this is an SRAM. Basically, the this RAM that we took off the Master System board here is something that's called XRAM, and it's a bit of a hybrid between, from what I can gather, it's a bit of a hybrid between SRAM and DRAM. It has like all the benefits of SRAM, but it basically, I think it uses DRAM style technology. As far as I can work out, that's what it boils down to. And what it means, unfortunately, is that this tester here can't test it. I was able to test that other RAM chip that I showed you before, that little SRAM. Actually, it's I think it's a 16K, not a 8K like I thought it was. And that does work. I can test. I'll show you just now quickly, just to show you the tester works. If I take that and I put that in the Speedmaster like that, I've got the. I'll just zoom you into the software. If you saw my video on this tester, you'll have seen this anyway. But we've got it set up there. We test the device. it counts up, RAM is okay. So we know that that works, but I don't know whether I can use that as a replacement. What I might just try, I have checked, and it does seem that it's pin compatible, and they're both 5-volt RAM chips. Is what I might try is putting that as the you're off shot there. Putting that as the work RAM. Unfortunately, we can't test which one of these is faulty, but because we've put sockets in, we can try swapping round and just see whether that will work. So bear with me while I get this cleared up and I get the Master System board back in here and connected up. And we'll just have a quick try, see if we can do that, put that as the work RAM, and try them as the video RAM, and see if we can get anywhere that way. If that works, I mean, I have seen, and these are available online, so I'll probably order a couple anyway if they're not too expensive, because obviously it's not ideal using the wrong RAM in here, but it would be handy to know that, whether we can use that as a quick solution, or at least a work RAM while we're waiting for something. So I'll be back very, very shortly. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got that SRAM chip that I had in as the work RAM there. I've got what was the work RAM in that socket there. I've got one of the video RAM chips in that socket there. I've got it connected up back to the video and back to the power supply, so we will go up onto the screen. Well, I've got a controller here as well. I'm just going to connect a controller up to it. So we'll connect a controller up, we'll switch on. Well, that's the first good news. The good news is that it seems that we can indeed replace at least the work RAM with a standard SRAM chip, rather than one of these XRAM chips. So just give that a quick feel. And so far it doesn't feel like it's getting warm. But we got this far before. Let's see if we've still got the graphical corruption or not. So let's we'll press right button. Okay, let's have a look. Do we still have the graphical errors? It looks like it. Yeah, it's still doing it, but it seems to be seriously I don't know. But again, what we're not seeing is that sprite breaking up like it did when I first tried this thing. But I mean, that doesn't seem to have made any difference so far. What we can try doing now is we'll try, oops, we'll switch it off. We will try swapping out this RAM chip here with the other one that we've got off the board, that one there, because obviously we don't know which one is faulty. The one that I'm pretty sure isn't faulty is that one there, which I said, which is what was the work RAM on this thing. So let's get the old chip extractor and let's get this off the board again. There we go, that's come off the board okay. And let's stick this one in its place. It's all lined up. Push that home like that. Let's see whether that's made a difference. I mean, this mightn't actually cure it. We may have a fault somewhere else. The other place that I am, I'll show. Well, let's try this first, and then we'll see. Nope, it's still glitching. Yep, still glitching there. So let's switch that off. So, I think the next port of call, I think we've pretty much eliminated the RAM as an issue. In fact, let's stick this just as a final thing. Let's take that SRAM that we had on there back off. So that was just a quick test. Well, at least it does mean that we know, at least for the work RAM, we can stick an SRAM in its place. And we'll stick this, and this is another reason why I put the 3 lots of pin header on, so we can use either type of IC in here. And that was a 16K, I think, SRAM chip as well. It wasn't an 8K, but it should work because the other address lines obviously just aren't used. Let's get that back. A bit of a tight fit, that. It's on these turn pin sockets though. It's in anyway. Right, like just as a quick final test, like I said, it shouldn't have made any difference at all, this, but let's just connect it back up with that SRAM in the socket. Right, let's power it back up. And it should work exactly as it did before. Again, it shouldn't have made any difference at all to this. It should still glitch just as it did. Yeah, it is doing. Just all the same glitches. Stop that. So yeah, my next port of call, because I think we've eliminated the RAM as the issue. It's a damn shame we can't use the Speed Master to test this type of RAM, but never mind. The next port of call, I think, is going to be, let's just get it disconnected again. We're going to have to whip this heat shielding off here, so I'll zoom you out a little bit. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Let me just turn the TV off because I can hear the hum from it with it disconnected, the ground hum. Alright, let's get this off here. We'll have to have the old 7805 floating. I think when I reassembled that as well, I put a bit of thermal grease behind there because it doesn't have any. Yeah. They put like a locking stuff on these screws and they're a right swine to get out. One out. Right, we're back in. Let's get that out of the way. And the next thing we want to look at is this IC here, because that basically deals with all the video. That takes the basically takes the video data from the ROM through the CPU and what have you. I think through this custom chip here. This deals with all the actual creation of the video. That's what this RAM's for. This RAM is basically dedicated to that IC there, and as we're pretty sure that the RAM's okay. I think the fault's going to be in there. That there actually creates the basically the RGB composite signals. I don't think that's the issue. I believe that something's happening with the processing in there, and that's what's causing the problem. Someone did say, could it not be capacitors? To be totally honest, I very rarely ever see any problems with these capacitors. These are 100 UF at 10 volts, and they're only decoupling caps, and usually in stuff of this age they're never a huge issue. They can drift slightly. It's more in your earlier spectrums that these cause major problems, and usually for that it's because where they're using the power, in the power supply section, if one fails, it can pretty much destroy a lot of the power supply section. In here, if one shorted out, the computer just wouldn't work, because you pull all the 5 volts to ground and that capacitor would get very, very hot. If it's just loses a bit of capacitance, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of noise on the signal, but we're not getting them kind of errors. We're not getting random crashes or anything like that. We've got a video glitch. So I think it is much, much more likely it is this video processor here. What I don't have, I don't think exactly that, not off a Mark 1 Master System. I do somewhere have a scrap Mark 2 Master System board. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with it. I'll have to dig that out and see if I can get it to fire up. And if it's got a completely different fault on it, great, we may be able to salvage that chip. If, like I said, that chip is the same on the Mark 2 as it is on the Mark 1, that's something I'll have to find out. Hopefully it is compatible and that other board's got a different fault on it. I seem to remember, the reason I didn't repair it was that it had been stepped on. So the entire case on that Master System is scrap. It's also damaged the cart slot when it got stood on, so again, it's not really worth pursuing as a repair, that thing. But I think, if I remember correctly, when I powered it up, it just gives a black screen. So we could look at that, see if possibly we can, might even dig that board out and see if we can get that board working. If we can get that board working, at least it'll prove that the IC, the video processor there, is okay on it, and if it is compatible, we'll try transferring that off that board onto this board, and we'll probably take it from there. So anyway, I'm going to leave this video here for now. I hope you enjoyed that that little update. At least we've proved it's not the video RAM, or at least we've pretty well proved it's not the video RAM that's fault, and we've also found out that we can indeed replace at least the work RAM. Which is this, it's all this XRAM, which I've not really come across before. Like I said, from the little research I've just done, it seems to be a hybrid RAM that's like a cross between an SRAM and a DRAM. But it does indeed look like we can replace it, like I said, at least in the work RAM area there, with just a standard SRAM. So, like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.